Have you ever considered buying a garden tower project and looked at it, gotten sticker shock, and said, holy cow, that is expensive? Well, luckily, they go on sale all the time, so it makes it easy and cheap to get into. In today's video, we're going to go over the pros and cons that we've experienced while using this system. Welcome to the Frederick Family Acre. My name's George.
And my name's Katrina. We are so happy to have you here with us today. And on our channel, we share gardening tips, how to cook your delicious homegrown food from scratch with some urban homesteading sprinkled in. Before we get into today's video, we would love to hear from you. Have you started your fall garden, or are you planning to start a fall garden? Let us know in the comments below.
First, we're going to talk about the cons with the Garden Tower Project 2. The first one is quality control. So this is molded plastic, and we found when we were unboxing, if you saw our unboxing and initial review video, that there were quite a bit of imperfections with the molding process. We found that there were pieces that didn't quite fit right. There were pieces that seemed to be slightly warped or bent, and that could have been due to heat or cooling too quickly from the molds. We also found that the vermicompost system didn't sit flush with the pieces that stacked together. And for us, that was a bit of a problem. It has worked well enough and without issue the entire time that we've had it, but as you can see, it does still sit crooked. And it fits crooked when you're putting it together. And that's because with the design, the pieces just don't quite fit snugly. The other thing that we found with quality control was the drawer that catches your water or your excess compost and compost tea, and that is that it sticks. And that again is likely due to the molding process and the way that the plastic was formed.
The other con we found is that while this does offer a ton of planting space in only 4 square feet, it can be difficult to use every single pocket if you're going to be growing crops that get quite large. They'll crowd each other out, and sometimes the airflow is not great. So if you do choose to fill it up and have large crops, you really need to be mindful of airflow and checking often for diseases.
The next con that we found was it does not come with a support system, and they may have updated this, but when we got it, there was not an option for a support system. This is very easy to remedy though, because you can stake in it. So if you need to, you can always take a stick or a stake and simply stick it in and attach your plant to it.
The final con that we have found with the Garden Tower Project 2 is that the soil goes throughout this entire system. It's all connected. So if you decide to move this, you have to remove one ring at a time, taking the soil out, get all the soil out, which also disturbs your worms, and then you can move it and put it back together. So it's a really good idea to plan exactly where you're going to want this to be for a long time. And we have a video about selecting the perfect location for your new garden. We'll link it up here and in the description below, so that when you do place your new garden tower, you can make sure that it is in the most ideal space possible.
Now, before we get into the pros, we really want to thank you guys for being here. It means a ton to us, and it really helps us out. If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you know someone who could benefit from learning about the Garden Tower Project 2, go ahead and give it a share. Our first pro that we are going to talk about, for me, is the absolute best thing about this system, and that's that it has built-in vermicompost, or worm composting. And you can see it's right here. And actually, there's worms right here. So this is an awesome system. What this allows you to do is put compost directly into your garden tower project, and the worms will then break it down and disperse it out into the various areas of the tower. This is great because you're spreading nutrients. We love vermicompost because it creates the most nutrient-rich compost that you can get. Worm compost is black gold. We have an entire vermicompost playlist because we are kind of vermicomposting nerds and we love it. So go ahead and check it out. We'll link it above and below.
Now, another major pro is this thing has a ton of planting space. It has 50 pockets in 4 square feet. And as far as we know, this is the most planting space available in a pre-made system like this, which is wonderful. Now, We did mention earlier that it is a little bit of a con depending on what you're gonna grow. But if you are looking to grow a ton of greens, herbs, strawberries, you can do bush beans, peas also in a bushing habit. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't get huge that you can put in here so you can max out the 50 pocket space and grow pounds and pounds of delicious fresh food all season long. The other thing that I absolutely love about this system is that it has the built-in rotating. I don't have to buy an extra base. I don't need to build our own stand. It is just right there for you to use right out of the box, which is really great. The way that this works wonderful is if you do have a space where you're putting this against your house, so you're only getting sun on that front side mostly, is you can leave one side forward, spin it, get that other side out. We have also found that it's a great way to take advantage of having crops in the back that prefer more shade, more cool, can handle less daylight hours, and keep those sun-loving crops like your eggplants, peppers, and tomatoes in the front. Also, the Garden Tower Project 2 has a great system integrated for catching water. And where we live with very low annual rain, conserving water is really, really important to us. And what they have done is after you water the top, it goes down into a drawer, and then you can remove the drawer and pour it over the top the next day when you water, or even at the same time, and not as much will go down through. So instead of having the water go through and run off into the ground, it is being contained so that nothing is wasted, which is excellent. And with so much of the US in drought right now, this is really great for anybody to be considering because it is a way to get the most out of the water you're putting in your garden.
Now the next super awesome detail about this that is a massive pro is that it is 100% made in the USA by a small family business. And that is so important right now, supporting our communities. This is our national community. This is something that is made here in the States. It's made with a lot of pride, and it's designed and made by people who are truly gardening out there just like you, just like us, trying to find better ways to grow in smaller spaces and be efficient. And that is extremely important. And the last pro that we want to talk about is that kids have an easy time using this too. It's very short and compact, so they can reach up and water. They can reach to harvest. If you're growing strawberries in this, consider this a strawberry buffet for kids. It is awesome, it's perfect size, and we love that our entire family can use it.
If you have any questions about this system or feel that we missed a pro or con you're curious about, please let us know in the comments below. And if you are interested in checking out more vertical growing options, check out our playlist over here that goes over some different vertical growing system options that are in the market today.
We really want to thank you guys for being here. We know that your time is valuable, and we love that you chose to spend it here with us. And we will see you on the next video.